So what is a disciple? I like to use my own definition for this. And that is, a disciple is someone who intentionally commits to the process of becoming like the one they are consistently beholding. I'll say that one more time. A disciple is someone who intentionally commits to the process of becoming like the one they are consistently beholding. So 4 things pop out to me out of this. And the first thing is this, is that a disciple is intentional. You know, one thing you'll find in the Gospels, you'll find where Jesus at times will extend an invitation to certain individuals to follow him. And at other times, people will just decide, they'll intentionally decide to follow him. And you'll even find where people will also intentionally choose to not follow him or to stop following him. But one thing you will never see in the Gospels is Jesus ever making someone follow him. You'll never find it where even his disciples ever made anybody follow Christ or the teachings of Christ. Why? I believe it's because a person needs to make their own decision. Your free will must be involved. But not only that, when you are intentional about something, your heart is open concerning that specific thing. If you're intentionally pursuing somebody that you're interested in, they don't have to try to get you to open your heart to them. Your heart's already opened because you're intentionally pursuing this. You're intentionally going after them. And that is the same thing when it comes to being a follower of Christ. Because to follow Christ, you got to have an open heart. Not just an open mind, you got to have an open heart. This has to be something, in other words, that you want to do. Nobody made you do this. Your mama didn't make you do this. Your daddy didn't make you do this. Your community didn't make you do this. The bully at school didn't make you do this. You know, some Christian bully running around holding people up against lockers saying, quote, John 3:16. No, I'm playing. I hope that doesn't actually happen. That's not a Christian. But besides that, a Christian or a disciple, is someone who intentionally chooses to follow Christ. And we can go so deep on that, but that's the first point I want to make. The second point is that a disciple is committed. You will never find any success in any area of your life where commitment is absent. Never. Your marriage will never develop into what it's supposed to develop into if there is a lack of commitment on both sides, from both parties. You'll never find your dietary plan ever working efficiently for you if you're not committed to that dietary plan. You will not find a workout regimen that is yielding results where there is an absence of commitment. It doesn't matter if it's the best personal trainer in the world. It doesn't matter if it's the best nutritionist in the world. You could have married the best person in the world. If there is no commitment, you will never see success in that area. Ever. Commitment is always necessary because you can't cheat commitment in these areas. You can't cheat. You can't cheat and make your marriage become that. You can't and become what it's supposed to be. You can't cheat and your diet just all of a sudden starts working. You can't cheat and all of a sudden your workout all of a sudden starts yielding results. That doesn't happen. There's no shortcuts. You got to be committed. And that's what you'll see in the Gospels. You'll see it in the writings of the New Testament. There's always this encouragement to stay committed, to always stay committed, because commitment is where the process will not just begin really, but where the process really starts to get ingrained in you. Intentionality opens the door, but it's commitment that keeps you in the house. Oh, that's something right there. All right. So 1, intentional. A disciple is intentional. 2, a disciple is committed. And 3, a disciple is patient. Patient. I think it was T.D. Jakes that said it like this. Trust the process. All right. That's my T.D. Jakes voice. All right. Trust the process. Get ready. But that's the thing. You have to trust the process. Because becoming a disciple, or becoming like the one you are consistently beholding, means that you have to trust the process to become. The process to become. Another way of seeing it like this is that you'll never find where Jesus was ever walking with the disciples, and wherever he was going, they always arrived at their destination in just the same day. A lot of the journeys that they would take to go in between towns and villages and cities took a long time. Took a long time. And guess what? When it comes to being a follower of Christ, it's also like that. You're not going to start this journey with Christ, and then all of a sudden the next day you arrive at becoming like Christ. Why? Because there's a process. There were things that you were taught that need to get dumped in the garbage and lit on fire, along with the garbage bin. Everything needs to just burn. All right, there's some stuff that you were taught that were wrong. There's ways that you viewed God that were wrong. There's ways that you believe God viewed you, and it was wrong. You understand what I'm saying? In this whole process, there's times where, you have to adopt new habits. You got to develop self-control. You got to develop self-discipline. In this process, there's ups. Just in this journey, there's hills, there's mountains, there's valleys. There's times where you're going to feel like quitting. There's times where you're going to really feel like, man, I was really good today. I was on the ball. Man, I responded so properly in that moment. And then the next moment, you're just like, man, that was bad. I should have never said it like this, or I should have never done this, or whatever it may be. But that's the whole thing about the process. It's a process. You're going to have to refine the way you view God. You're going to have to refine the way you treat people. You're going to have to refine the way you treat yourself, all in view of becoming like the one you're consistently beholding. And that's going to take patience. So you got to be, so a disciple is someone who's intentional. They are committed. They're patient. They trust the process. And number 4, they're a pursuer. They're always in pursuit. And you'll see this, Paul writes it so beautifully to the Philippians in his letter to them, where he talks about forgetting those things that are behind and pressing forward to what's ahead, pursuing this high calling of God in Christ Jesus. You'll find throughout his letters that Paul was constantly in this chase. He was constantly in this pursuit. And what's so interesting about a pursuit is that when you find a video, let's say there's times where I watch videos of cops chasing criminals, and I'm talking about the good cops who are chasing criminals, and they will fail while they're chasing them. I mean, the criminal will just fly over that fence like it's nothing, like they were trained to fly over fences. And the cop will try to go over the fence, and they will just drop. Like, they just flip and drop. And because they're wearing the mic, you hear it. So it's like, ugh, when they hit the ground. And you could tell the wind's knocked out of them. But they'll get back up, even in the embarrassment and the shame. They'll get back up and continue pursuing this person. Why? Because they want that individual. They're pursuing this. It's like, I have to get a hold of this person. Even if they got to call in for support, they got to call in for reinforcements, they will do whatever is necessary so they can actually apprehend this individual. And that's the same thing while you're pursuing Christ, is that you're going to sometimes face some obstacles, and you're sometimes going to drop, you're going to stumble, you're going to trip, you're going to feel embarrassed at times. You know what I mean? But because you're in pursuit, you'll get back up because you know what you're trying to go after. Even if nobody else notices, they just see the falls, they see the fails, but they don't see what you're pursuing. You see it. And that's what these disciples went through. That's what these apostles went through. That's why for them to go to jail, it's like, okay, I went to jail for following Christ, but I know what I'm pursuing. So if the pursuit puts me in a jail cell, then the pursuit puts me in a jail cell. If the pursuit causes me to lose some friends, then I lose some friends, because at the end of the day, God will add friends that I need to replace the friends that left. And that's just what happens. But you get back up because you are in pursuit. And you'll see this all across the board. Any person who's pursuing something will always make mistakes on their path to reaching that thing they are pursuing. They will make mistakes. They will make some bad decisions, but they'll get back up and dust themselves off because they are in pursuit. In other words, a disciple never gives up. So, what is a disciple? A disciple is someone who's intentional, committed, patient, and is a pursuer because they will not give up. All right, so hope that helps. See y'all guys in the next video. Do tune in because I'm going to be starting a series on discipleship entitled How Jesus Viewed Discipleship. How Jesus viewed discipleship. I think it's going to be real, real nice. So tune in for that. All right. Comment, like, share, and love y'all. Deuces.